Okay, folks, we found some problems with the little brown bench assignment, so I'm going to try and draw a little brown bench here kind of quickly to show you all the tricks and techniques you need to master. We're going to start with a simple template, feet and inches template. We're going to delete Helen. We don't need her around. We're going to click on our file name. We're going to pick a place. We're going to name it last name underscore bench. Save here. Okay, we're starting with a blank screen. We're going to go over here and pick the rectangle tool. We're going to type in our numbers, and we're going to type in the length first. That's the red axis. The number you type in first is going to be on the red axis. So we're going to type in 14 inches, which is 1 foot 2 inches, comma, and then 10.5, which is 10.5 inches. You could type in half there, but I just type in the decimals because that's what I know in my head. And then we're going to grab it and we're going to push it. We're going to make it taller. It doesn't need to be nearly that tall. It's 3/4 of an inch thick, so we're going to type in 0.75. And look, we've made the top. That's the easiest piece of the whole bench. Got that out of the way first. And then we're going to select it. We're going to triple click it. We're going to right click it, and we're going to make it a group. So that's one piece that's going to move around all together now. Now we're going to make the leg, which is the most complicated piece. Again, we're going to pick our rectangle tool. One of the things I noticed that kept happening was people were getting the height and the width mixed up. So we need to make sure that it's 8.5 inches tall, 8.5 comma, and 10.5 inches wide, 10.5. Enter. And notice it made our leg. We can double check it with our tape measure. It's 10.5 inches wide and 8.5 inches tall. Now, it's kind of deceiving because it's laying flat on the floor right now, so to speak. We're going to draw the archway in here. We're going to orbit around a little bit. We're going to zoom in here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to go over here and pick the line tool. And I'm going to let it snap right to the middle of that thing because we want the archway to be in the middle of the leg. And I'm going to start drawing a line. I'm going to stay on the red axis. And I know that the square part of the arch, you think of the arch as two pieces. The bottom part of it is a rectangle, and the top part of it is an arch. Okay, and we know the bottom part is 2.25 inches tall, which we're going to type in as 2.25, and that drew us a line 2.25 inches long. Now we're going to move over here to the green axis, and we know the archway is 4 inches wide, so we're going to draw a 2-inch line here. I just typed in 2 and hit return. And then we're going to go back and snap the other way, and we're going to type that in as 4 inches. So that helped me the reason I did it this way was so that I could locate it in the center of the leg. So now I'm just going to snap over here to the leg, draw a line down. Same thing, you notice how it pops up there. It says on edge. Nice straight line. Okay, so that's and it looks like 2 squares, but it's a rectangle. Think of it as a complete rectangle. And then we're going to go over here and pick the arc tool. Don't know that you need to click that. We're going to click the center of the arc. That's where we're going to pivot around. We're going to click the end point. We're going to swing it around here. And bam, we drew an arc. Now we're going to go back over here and get our arrow tool. You can do this a couple of ways. You can select all this one piece at a time, or you can just make a crossing window. We're going to select all the stuff in the arch, and we're just going to delete that. I just selected it all and hit the delete key. I'm going to undo that. You can see it again. So there it all is. I can click the stuff one at a time and hit the delete key, or I can just make a crossing window with the dotted lines by clicking and dragging the mouse, and then I just hit delete, and it deletes everything that's in there. Okay? Now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude this, give it some thickness, which is 0.75. It's 3/4 of an inch material. Now I've made my leg. The only thing that I don't have now is the bevels that are on the top and the bottom of it. We're going to do that in kind of an interesting way. So we're going to pick the selection tool. We're going to get our window out. We're going to select all of everything that's there. Be careful that when you do this, if you're selecting things, that you don't include things that you don't want to have. Oh, it didn't catch it. Notice that when I drag it to the right, it only selects what's in the window. When I drag it to the left, it selects everything that it's touching. So be careful that you don't select things that you don't want to move when you're selecting things. So we've selected all this all the parts of the leg, and then we're going to go over here and pick the rotate tool. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit, orbit around. We're going to go over here and pick this corner. We're going to do this on the green axis, and we know the bevel wants to be a 10-degree bevel, but our leg is laying flat on the floor right now, so we're going to rotate it up. It wants to be like that, about like that, right? So we subtract, but if we went all the way to there, that would be 90 degrees. We want to back off 10 degrees. So if we subtract 10 degrees from the 90 degrees, that'll be, we're going to move it 80 degrees. So there it is in the proper axis of what we need it to be. We're going to go back over here. We're going to select the select tool. We're just going to click out in space so we've deselected it. We're going to zoom back in here a little bit. We're going to pick the line tool. We're going to start at that line, and we're going to just drag it across. Notice how it's kind of hard to see. Zoom in here a little bit. On the red axis, on edge, and click it. Now we've drawn a little line there, right? We're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to draw 3 of those lines. Oop, I zoomed the wrong way. Draw 2 on the bottom and 1 on the top here. And now we've drawn, so now we've got that bevel. And we're going to pick our push-pull tool. We're going to select that little triangle. We're just going to push it all the way to the end and click, and it's going to disappear. I'm going to orbit down here. Click on that face. It's going to disappear, disappear. There is our leg, our complete leg. Okay? Now we're going to do the next most important step is we're going to triple click it, and we're going to make it a group. Oops, I've still got a little box there on the window screen. I'm not sure where that came from or why it's there. Okay, so there's our leg. Now, we're going to start putting our bench together. Well, we need to copy it first. So we need 2 legs. So we're going to start doing that. We're going to go back and pick our move tool. We're going to click over here. It doesn't really matter where you click it. And we're going to start moving it. And I'm just going to tap the Option key and notice that it's copying it for me. Okay? There's quite a few ways to do this. I'm going to show you the way that I think makes the most sense to me. So I've moved it. I've copied it and moved it. I'm going to pick the rotate tool. I'm going to pick this corner. I'm going to tap my arrow keys. Oops. I'm going to tap my arrow keys so that I pick the right axis because I want to move it. I want to rotate it around the red axis, the blue axis. I don't know which one it is. So I've turned it 180 degrees, right? And now I'm going to move it. I'm going to pick this corner. I'm going to move it right to there. Okay, that's exactly backwards, but there's a rationale for this. This makes sense. And now we're going to click it and move it. And instead of giving it a point to click to, I'm just going to type in the distance that I want it to move because I know the feet of the bench from the drawing, the feet of the bench are 14 inches, 1 foot 2 inches, or 14 inches apart. So I'm just going to type in 14 and hit return. And bam, those are perfectly positioned now. Okay? I'm going to pick the select tool. I'm going to select nothing out here. I'm going to pick my line tool and I'm going to draw a line right across the top. Now we're working on the sides. We're done with the top and the legs, and we're working on the sides. I've drawn a line just from the top corner there to the top corner there. And I'm going to start drawing a line straight down. And we know that the side is 3.5 inches tall. Oh, it's 3, I don't know, 3.5, 3.25. The drawing I'm looking at says 3.25. Your assignment might say 3.5. Use whatever's in the assignment. I might have an old drawing. So I just typed in 3.5 inches. I hit return and it drew a line for me. Now I'm going to go on the red axis right over there to the on edge group. And then I'm going to draw another little line, same thing here. So I've drawn the side of my thing. I didn't quite finish it though because I need to draw a whole trapezoid here. And then I'm going to draw another line down this side. Did all that make sense? I'm going to undo that right quick and show you all that again. Okay, so I've drawn a line across the top. I'm going to draw a line that's 3.5 inches down. I'm going to draw a line over here on the red axis on the edge. Then I'm going to complete the trapezoid. Notice how it filled it in there. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing over here on the edge. Back up. Notice how it completed the trap. It made it a solid. Okay, I'm going to pick my picker tool and I'm going to erase this one line. I'm just going to click that one line. See how it highlighted it blue? And I delete it. Now it's gone. Okay, well now I've just got a flat piece of paper in there, right? Now we're going to push it. How thick do you think it should be? 0.75, just like all the rest. And look, we've made our side. Now, there's one more important thing I have to do here. I have to make it a group. Triple click it, make it a group, bam. Notice it gave me those extra lines. I don't really care about that too much, but it did. And then we're going to copy it again using our move tool. We pick the move tool. I'm going to pick this point right here. I don't know how well you can see what I'm doing there. I'm going to pick this point right here. Well, after I've clicked it and selected it and moved it, I'm going to hit the Option key, and notice it's copied it for me now. And I'm going to come over here, I'm going to click that other corner, and bam, it is perfectly positioned already. Okay, I still got my move tool. I'm going to go over here, I'm going to pick the midpoint on the top. I'm going to pick this up, I'm going to snap it right there to the midpoint, and bam, I have made a bench. It's that quick, folks. I'm going to double check it for measurements. You get the measurement tool. I'm going to click this corner. I'm just going to hover there, 1 foot 2 inches. Hover over here, 10.5 inches. Hover down here, 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to pick this corner, 1 foot 2 inches. This is going to be 8 3/8 inches. This number is going to be 3 1/4 inches. I come over here, pick that. That distance 2 1/4 inches, 3 1/4 inches, 3/4 of an inch. The distance from here to there is 4 inches. All those dimensions are right. If I zoom around to the bottom, I can measure. Whoop. Go back to my tape measure tool. Click there. The sides are 3/4 of an inch thick. Notice that it's already saved. I have completed the assignment. I hope that worked out for you. If you have any problems or questions, don't hesitate to get a hold of me and ask me, and I will help you overcome your hurdles. Have a great day.